Hello everyone, how you doing today? Yeah, for those who don't know me, my name is Femi. I'm the author of the book So What? I'm also an entrepreneur, I'm a writer and a poet. Now, I know it's been a while and I do apologize for that. But I thought I should sort of just touch base today and give some words of encouragement and some very specific. I'm going to talk about a few specific things that I think can actually help us. I mean, it's certainly helping me at this time. But I just thought, I just thought that I should also do this video. I mean, to help. You never know someone out there. So, just a few things I want to quickly go through today. Um, it's mostly about sort of relieving the stress in terms of family and household finances and in the house and things like that. Um, yeah, I hope this kind of things, some of these suggestions are going to be very helpful. I hope. Yeah, so first of all, I think there are some organizations. I know, for instance, what's the name? Coles does a kind of a reward program where if you have flybys, after you do your grocery shopping, you can scan and then you get points. Now, that may not seem to be a lot, but it adds up. It adds up. So, if you've ignored that for some time and you don't think it's relevant to you, well, perhaps you might want to consider, you know, you know, start using your Flybys card or just getting one, and it's free. So get one if you can, and scan it after all your purchases. You never know, and I know Woolies too does some. A lot of organizations now have a reward program, so yeah, it does add up. Then another thing, I think when it comes to utility, power, like that, solar is good. Solar is good, and I know that here in Australia there's a program for where the government sort of helps with the payments. I know it's in Western Australia. We're privileged to be part of the beneficiary of that, and I'll always be grateful for that. So solar is very helpful. It will pretty much pay for itself. So if you're in a position to get a solar system, and you don't even need a battery, because what happens is any excess power that your solar generates, the government actually credits you for that, and that is that's going to be deducted in your bill, your subsequent bills. So with solar, honestly, you can't actually go wrong. So consider that. Now, this is another tricky one. Downsizing. Downsizing is tricky. So what do I mean about downsizing? Okay. When you, for instance, you just pretty much letting go of things you don't need. Um, you're a family of say 3 people, but you live in a 5 bedroom flat or 5 bedroom apartment, or a 5 bedroom house, or you live on or you live in a place where you know that there are a lot of vacant rooms. You can choose to either hire some of the room, rent it out, or downsize. Because what that will do is you especially now, you can actually save a lot of money, save a lot of ongoing expenses, and maintenance cost. So if you downsize, you will potentially have more money for yourself and your family. Um, and it's the same with other things like I saw a video the other day where a gentleman was, so he was in the dealership, and what he was doing was pretty much, you know, um, changing or selling his Mercedes Benz AMG to get a under pilot, and he was saying he didn't know what he was doing by just getting the Benz, like he just started a new job and he thought, oh yeah, this will look good on me, but it suddenly didn't make sense after a while, so he pretty much went and to the same dealership and swapped the car for a cheaper version, a cheaper car. So downsizing can be very good. It can be very helpful, and consider that. Also, monetize your skills. So what do I mean? I'm a writer. I'm privileged to be a writer. I said the other time I wrote this book, so what published in 2020. Um, so whilst I enjoy writing, right, I love to write. I write poetry. I've done scripts. Um, it is also an opportunity to earn some income. Now, in saying that, my last royalty was just £25 from this book. So you might think, oh boy, So no, so this is not an income that you want to consider an income. So what I mean is it's something that you do and just leave there. You never know, maybe one day this book ultimately has really, it has given me a few, some opportunities, within, you know, the space of time that I wrote the book. Yes, I have not made my investment in, I did invest some money, not a lot, but reasonable sum of money. But when it comes to that, it's not, I didn't write the book to get money instantly, if you know what I mean. So that is just me, as a writer, and as a poet. So I do, I write, but I do it leisurely. And when I thought the need came, then I wrote this book and published it. So you might have a skill, you might have a hobby, maybe you like drawing. You can totally monetize that in your spare time. You can do portraits for people, and I know people will pay well. And if you're somebody that like pets, you like dogs, why don't you try, dog sitting, or you know, um, you know, home sitting. Some people with pets don't like to, when they travel, they don't like to leave their homes without somebody at home, So that might be an opportunity for you. Even if singing, a lot of us sing, you will be amazed at, a lot of things we ignore that are innate might actually be a source of income. It doesn't matter how big the income is. You could put fuel in your car, it could do something. So don't ignore your hobbies. So explore it even more. Now, another thing is get additional skills. Excuse me. So what do I mean by getting additional skills? Australia is one of the most beautiful and wonderful countries in the world where you can actually do some studies for free. Take that opportunity. I went to a TAFE school, it's a vocational school. I know that there are so many free courses now, especially now. So upskill yourself. Very important. Upskill yourself. And no skill is useless. No skill is useless. So upskill yourself. Hmm? So, and don't be afraid to try new skills. Don't feel like you feel probably you're now in your 50s, it's too late. No, it's never too late. It's never too late to explore. So, try and make that opportunity, you make use of that opportunity, especially as it's free. Don't forget that. All right. Another point I think will be useful is utilize everything. Utilize everything. Everything. So before you discard an item, before you say, oh, okay, this item is now useless, make sure you get your money's worth out of it. Everything. 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 I've got a printer that I've had for some time. It's a 3-in-1 printer. Now, I know now there are now possibly other printers that cost similar to what my printer cost, but it's still going. It still works. So all I do is just replace the cartridge and keep using it. Of course, we know that cartridges are now as almost as expensive as a printer itself. But I mean, either way, if I had to buy another printer, that's another cost. And someone that also runs a business, I gotta also be prudent in my spending. So yeah, make sure you get the best out of any item you buy. I've got clothes that, yeah, of course I interchange them, but I don't buy on impulse. It's got to be based on necessity. Now, a lot of people can say that that's just stingy, but no, I mean, it's just smart. So yeah, get the best out of everything. Get the best out of your electronics, your car. Don't be eager to replace your car. So that's another thing. There's a lot of trend where people just tell you, or you see your friends buying big cars, and well, it looks cool, right? Like you step down from your nice big fancy car, but well, cars are generally depreciating assets, so I guess it's something you got to think about as well. Okay, this also is similar to the previous one. This is reuse items. Just like I mentioned before with my printer, learn to reuse items. Now, there's also a very good program now in Australia where you have water bottles, you turn it in and you get some money back. Don't ignore that. 10 cents. My son, it may seem like nothing, like $10, 10 cents. But that is money too. And that can literally sort out some things for you. So don't ignore that, especially with kids. That is a good fun game, a good investment strategy for them. They can pretty much open an account with it. I know of an NDIS participant that does an enterprise with that. I'm privileged to work with him. And that is a business for him. He's pretty good at it, sorts out the cans, the bottles, and it makes a very good income out of it. So don't ignore that. Don't because I found that a lot of times all those income, all those funds that we think that they are minute, it does add up. It really adds up. So if you think, oh, this is just $1, $1 times 10 is 100, times 30 is 300. So you got to think about it. So always reuse, always recycle. Very good. Recycling is a very good, very good economic strategy. I saw on YouTube the other day, it turns out that defective products, electronics and all that, they are actually an industry in itself. Yeah, like returned items from companies, it is an industry in itself. So it's creating a lot of money. So that tells you something. So you got to recycle. You have to recycle. Don't be eager to throw things out. I mean, your food can I don't do composting now because I don't know a lot about gardening, and I don't do gardening to be honest. I don't know a lot about it, so I tend to walk away from things I don't know about. But if you have a garden, yeah, definitely all your leftover foods and things like that, yeah, manure, that can be fertilizers for your plants and things. So instead of spending that money again on fertilizers, that can be very useful. So yeah, that will reduce your waste, reduce your carbon footprint, and it's just a lot of good stuff. All right, so that is that. So another thing, so this may not be directly connected to finances, but it's also good. It's being outdoors. Now, I do a lot of my work. Sometimes I go, I'm outside with participants, depending on what I'm doing with them. So, but sometimes I'm also indoors when I'm coordinating plans and doing, just checking on clients and seeing how they're going. But being outdoors are good. It's pretty good when you have the chance to go out, take the fresh air, do a bit of walk around. It's also good. So that can also, give you. I do something I call a power walk. You know what a power walk is? So when I do those power walks, I come back with a lot of ideas. I know it's strange, but I just like it. I go for walks on it, you know. So yeah, consider that. Okay, this last one can sound a little bit tricky. It might not sync well with a lot of people, but it's pretty good. Now, volunteering and giving. Yeah, I know. We're talking about, being prudent with finances, and then putting the volunteering and giving. I mean, does it not make sense to keep what you have now? And well, yeah. So giving can come in so many ways. Like I've been looking into doing some volunteering myself now. But what I've discovered is that because I had the privilege of being at an event recently, and I was privileged to see a lot of Australians who just do things without being paid for doing it. They, and guess what? They, I know for a fact that one of them, a gentleman in his 60s, he owns a lot of restaurants. You know, it's remarkable, isn't it? But he's also a giver. He's raised a lot of funds for uh, I think it's called Lifeline. So Lifeline is an Australian um, non-for-profit that helps people going through mental challenges. But this man, Vince, has really raised a lot of money for them by just being himself, by just so giving can be something that a lot of people find a little bit like amusing, or like you think you have to be in a certain level in life to give, but it's actually not so. You can start wherever you are. you know you can start wherever you are. So yeah, consider that. I'm privileged to, my organization, um, we've been, we had the opportunity to sponsor uh, Fred Allo. As a matter of fact, I think at the beginning of this year we increased our commitment. To we are not a big organization. Like we just started. We are I think we're gonna be 2 years this year ending. So, But like I said, it's not until you don't, there are certain things that you do regardless of where you are. And that is actually the key. That is the key. Now we are all keeping all these things, you know, we've got to preserve all these things we have, you know, but the bottom line is wherever we are, right, we are the answer to some other person's challenges. I know that it may not look that way now, but look deep. You can give something, you can do something for someone. So while you're doing all those things I listed, go out of your way and make a difference in someone's life. All right, I love you. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, I never thought I was gonna be at that point where I'm gonna tell people that too. Okay, so if you've not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And we're gonna make this interactive, right? So you can pretty much send me messages and things you want me to talk about. Now I don't do this often, but you never know if the topic is interesting enough and it's gonna help. You know, the key word is helping people. So if your topic is gonna influence people positively, yeah, why not? Bring it on. And don't forget to grab your copy of Just You. It's on Barnes and Nobles, a lot of platforms. Just Google it, So What by Femi Ajayi, and you'll see. I look forward to talking to you next time. You take care. Bye.